Hi everyone, it's Duchess. Lately, there's been this nostalgic feeling in the air that only autumn seems to bring. You know what I mean, the kind of atmosphere that makes you slow down, breathe a little deeper, and remember how comforting the world can be when it starts to cool down. For me, autumn has always been a season of warmth, even when the wind outside was chilly. Growing up, I spent so many nights curled up under heavy blankets, the sound of leaves brushing against a window with a small cup of espresso by my side, courtesy of my wonderful mom, who, honestly, probably spoiled me a bit too much. That feeling, the coziness, the calm, that soft mix of melancholy and comfort, has never really left me, and it's what inspired me to make this video. Today, I want to talk about 5 games that truly define autumn for me. They're not necessarily the ones I replay every single year, but whenever the air turns crisp and the evenings get longer, these are the games that instantly come to mind. They capture everything I love about the season, the quiet beauty, the sense of nostalgia, and that unmistakable coziness that makes autumn feel like home. Number 5. Costume Quest. This one's an oldie I played while growing up. I was very young when I first picked it up on the PS3, and honestly, it wasn't exactly easy for a little girl who could barely read yet. Costume Quest is an RPG with super simple mechanics, turn-based combat, quick timed action events during battles, you know, way before Expedition 33 made it cool again, and a handy little quest log to keep track of your main and side missions. I actually revisited recently after spotting it on sale on Steam for a pretty good price, and wow, I fell in love with it all over again. It's this cute, cozy autumn gem that just wraps you in nostalgia the second you start playing. Experiencing it as an adult now, it's a short and easy game, not hard at all. I honestly don't know how I struggled with it as a kid, but I'll forgive my younger self for being young and kinda clueless. The music absolutely screams Halloween, complete with all those cheesy horror movie vibes that just make you grin. It's the kind of game that makes you want to snuggle up in bed with some tea and your Steam Deck, just soaking in that warm, spooky comfort that only October can bring. Number 4. Gravity Rush. This is another classic from my childhood, back when I thought I was so smart and knew everything about gaming, when in reality I knew absolutely nothing. My little bashing spree on Greg Miller was just getting started back then too. I was completely obsessed with this game's aesthetics. It just defines autumn for me almost to a T. Warm tones, dreamy atmosphere, and that slightly melancholic but magical vibe. So for anyone who hasn't played it, Gravity Rush is about a gravity shifter named Cat. Yeah, that immediately won me over because cats are my favorite animals, and there's literally one in the game with her. The gameplay took a lot of getting used to, especially since it relied heavily on gyroscope controls. I remember getting so dizzy playing because of all the sharp, quick movements you had to do. Dodging attacks, flying around before your gravity gauge ran out, all of it. This was actually one of my first exposures to anime-style games and aesthetics outside of Dragon Ball Z Kai, which I used to watch on Cartoon Network at night back then. And I absolutely adored the fact that I was playing as a female character. That was super rare for me at the time. Sure, Lara Croft existed, but I couldn't exactly relate to her. She was designed for the male gaze, and even as a kid, I remember thinking her features were, let's just say, a bit mush. But Kat, she was different. She was clumsy, goofy, kind of lost, and just rolling with whatever life threw at her. She felt real, like someone you could actually root for. That made the game special to me, and visually is stunning. The whole world is bathed in warm oranges and soft browns, perfectly capturing that cozy autumn glow that makes everything feel alive, even in a floating city. Number 3. Animal Crossing: New Leaf. The game I spent hundreds of hours on, day after day, vacation after vacation, night after night. The sheer amount of things to do in this game is unreal. It has a kind of charm that New Horizons just hasn't been able to fully recapture. I actually made a whole video about that a while ago if you're curious. This game feels like autumn to me, not just because of the way the seasons change in it, but because of the memories it holds. I have a few really vivid memories tied to New Leaf, and one in particular stands out: Thanksgiving. I can't remember the exact year, maybe 2014, maybe 2013, but the whole day is still crystal clear in my mind. We had close family friends over, and the whole house smelled like turkey. My mom was in the kitchen talking with my grandma, setting the table just right, while The Godfather and Gone with the Wind played on TV. Quick context, back then, maybe they still do this, I'm not sure, AMC used to air all the Godfather movies on Thanksgiving Day, then follow it up with Gone with the Wind in the afternoon. It became a weirdly comforting tradition for us, just having AMC blasting in the background. My dad, being the most Italian dad ever, would peek out of the kitchen every time one of his favorite scenes came on. My dad would just shake his head and go, "That's how you handle business back then," with this proud little smirk like he was part of the Corleone family himself. And while all that was happening, there I was, curled up on the couch with my 3DS, completely absorbed in Animal Crossing New Leaf. That Thanksgiving event had me running all over town collecting ingredients for Franklin the turkey. It was a full-on collect-a-thon, and I remember feeling like I was somehow part of the holiday, even in my little digital village. The cozy music, the warm fall colors, the sound of laughter from my family in the background, it all blended together. That's the kind of memory that New Leaf gives me every time I think about it. Number 2, Kingdom Hearts 2. This game holds a special place in my Kingdom of Hearts too. Wow, I'm really bringing on the puns in this video, huh? But seriously, this was the long-awaited true sequel to the first Kingdom Hearts game, and it absolutely did not disappoint. I started playing it many years ago during the autumn when another girl I knew and I were completely obsessed with Kingdom Hearts. The game itself perfectly captures that autumn-like tone. You begin in Twilight Town, a place bathed in orange hues and filled with that nostalgic, slightly melancholic music in the background. The town is perpetually caught in sunset, hence the name Twilight Town. It serves as a rather lengthy but perfectly necessary prelude to the rest of the game, and right from the start it lets you know that this isn't going to be an entirely happy story. There are going to be twists, turns, and emotional gut punches along the way. I remember being absolutely enchanted by the Twilight Town theme and wanting so badly to learn it on the piano. I can still picture it, me practicing the song while my mom opened all the windows to let that crisp, cool autumn air fill the house. Everyone had just started breaking out the sweaters and cozy jackets, and I was living my teenage life right in the middle of that season, heart racing to boot up the PS3 just so I can find out what happens next to Roxas in this wild emotional roller coaster that is Kingdom Hearts 2. Now before I unveil my number 1 cozy game, I have to give a quick honorable mention, and that goes to Stardew Valley. I can already feel the shock and surprise through the screen. Don't get me wrong, I love Stardew Valley. I absolutely adore it. Even though I looked at it a bit more critically in my Stardew Valley vs. Fields of Mystery video, it doesn't change the fact that this game is, without a doubt, one of the purest representations of autumn gaming ever made. I even asked one of my coworkers which game gave off the strongest autumn vibe, and without hesitation he says Stardew Valley. And honestly, he's right. It's undeniable, but it's also incredibly cliche at this point. I mean, everyone and their mom will probably say Stardew Valley if you asked them what their favorite fall cozy game was. I just wanted to be a little different. I totally agree that the warm, crisp colors of autumn in the game gives you that instant wave of serotonin, if that's even the right phrase. But Stardew Valley has been basking in the spotlight for years now, and it deserves it, but I think it's time another game gets the glory of being in first place for once. And speaking of which, that game is Number 1, Final Fantasy VIII. Now hold up, let me explain. Though this game isn't your typical conventional autumn game, I feel like it embodies the fall spirit spiritually. There's a cozy atmosphere from the very start, with much of the early game set in a school, something that, at least in the US, definitely evokes that back-to-school fall feeling. The theme that plays in Balaam Gardens is soothing and relaxing, yet tinged with melancholy. I remember grinding my way through Squall's adventure in 2021 while snuggled up in a blanket fighting off an autumn cold, using the game as my escape. It holds bittersweet memories for me too. I had just gone through my first breakup at the time, and Final Fantasy VIII became my comfort game, helping me process everything I was feeling. To me, autumn isn't just about the colors or cozy aesthetics. It's the world shedding the old to make way for the new. And that's exactly what I was going through when I first played this game. The season of change before starting college, preparing to grow, to move forward. The story itself mirrors that sense of transformation. Squall begins as emotionally distant, struggling with vulnerability, but through his connections with Renoa and his friends, he learns to open up and embrace love and trust again. The world of Final Fantasy VIII also reflects this theme of renewal. War gives way to peace, isolation turns into connection, and loss makes space for new beginnings. That's why I believe Final Fantasy VIII is the quintessential autumn game. Not because it looks like fall, but because it feels like fall. Beautiful, bittersweet, and quietly hopeful. And that's my take on it. If you're someone who loves exploring the depths of the gaming community, hit that subscribe button below and turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Also, make sure to join my Discord server where we chat about games, share recommendations, and just vibe between uploads. The link's in the description. I'd love to see you there. See you guys later.
With cozy games, she lights up our days. From Stardew fields to Genshin's lush ways. Join her in adventures in every play. Oh, Duchess, our guide in the gaming life. With laughter and joy, you make our days bright. From cozy to thrill, in each little stream, your passion shines through.